Welcome back to the Command Stack. I'm John, and today with us we have.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Garrett.
Okay, so today we are very excited. We're going to be talking about the Chicago event that just took place.
Yeah,
We
but
are.
there's something else we should talk about, and that's there's this guy on my screen that we haven't seen for a while, and his name is John. How you
Yeah,
doing?
hold up. Hold
I've
up.
been here the entire time. I don't know what you're
Somehow,
talking about.
somehow John has returned.
I have.
Okay.
From the darkness, I have emerged. I've been extremely busy. I started a new job in January, a lot of you know, and then I moved. That's why there's still boxes. And a lot of things went wrong with the house after we moved in. So we've had multiple visits from my good friends, the plumbers and electricians, and new garage doors, and all sorts of fun things have been eating up my time and keeping me away from playing Armada and hanging out with these two guys.
Oh yeah. Well, it's good to have you back. Sorry about the house. It's the way
It's
she
it's
goes.
it's coming together. Like it's one of those things. I think you and I were talking about this when you were up here. It's like once you replace everything, everything's replaced, and then you
That's
just
right.
get into that cycle
That's right. You start
of the
over.
next time it gets replaced. It just everything hit at the same time. So I painted the last room that needed to be painted today, so all the rooms
Ooh.
are now painted. So I'm excited about that. And my kitchen counter should finally be coming in theoretically tomorrow. So then we'll actually have counters in the kitchen, and then we can call that plumber friend back to get the sink and everything hooked up. So
Nice. Nice. Well, speaking of counters, we were counting some victory tokens this last weekend at the Chicago Uprising events. And that's what we're going to talk about today. But first, we're going to talk about some news. What do you got first, Ken?
Well, let's. I think the big thing. Let's recap a couple other tournaments that we know are coming up in the area beyond. Because we're going to talk about Uprising, but let's quick touch base on some of the ones coming up this weekend. Denver has their tournament upcoming. There's the Kentucky Team Championships in mid-November. I think that's the 16th, and I think Chicago's got a team
They do.
that just
They're
formed.
bringing
They're
it
coming
down.
down. We have to, as part of the Chicago group here, Garrett, we have to take the Kentucky Championship because there's this guy from Kentucky that won the Chicago Uprising,
I stole
and
it. I
you
own the
know,
title for 1 year. All
yeah,
right.
for 1 year, we're gonna have another Uprising. I'm gonna play and steal it back. So,
Good luck.
yeah, really. Polish GT's coming up in mid-November, 16th and 17th. A couple other ones. I know the Ozark Mountain
Yeah.
Open's coming up, Ozma.
Ozark Mountain Open, October 25th or I'm sorry, 26th and 27th in Fayetteville, Arkansas. I'm going to that. Uh, and if I'm going somewhere, I'm bringing stuff. And I just got to say, the participation gifts I'm making for them are good, like worth your drive.
yeah,
So come to that. And then we've also got the St. Laurent Open
he's
up in.
tempting you to go to it, but he's actually going to try to win them himself, so he does not have to give them away.
I specifically put champion on the lid so that I couldn't pass it down. So if I win it, I get to keep it. No, no, no. St. Laurent Open, same weekend up in Canada. Simon and them put on a great show. So if you're in the Quebec area, basically all of Canada lives within like 100 miles of that, I think. And then we've got one last Canada one, the uh Star Wars Armada Western Canada Champion. Can't well, I messed that up. Western Canada Championship. This is November 9th, and that's in Alberta. So I think this kind of takes the place of the old Stampede Open. And Ryan Cuburn and Quinn and Matt and Skycake and a bunch of the other ones are doing that. So that'll also be a really good event. But I think that's all the like close to upcoming ones.
I think you're right. The only other thing we are under the impression is going to be coming out soon is this famed October update for Armada that Schick told you and me about when we were at Gen Con, Garrett.
Yep.
But we're only mid-October. Today is the 17th.
Are you
I
getting
mean,
on a plane soon, Ken?
No,
yeah.
but usually that's when this drops is right after I take off. And I'm not on those command stack episodes. That's true. You know what? I'm going to take a trip, John, just
Just get on a plane
to get on
to
a
anywhere
plane,
and then fly back.
fly
So
back.
my money is on tomorrow because it's
Of course.
mid-October
Yeah.
and it's Friday. That's I'm feeling it.
Have they,
I,
isn't it usually, don't they usually release things on Thursday though?
Uh, all I know is it's the end of the week. I thought it was Fridays, but I could be wrong.
I
I think
Because
it's
last year it was the
Wednesdays or
15th.
Thursdays.
Last year it
well,
was the 15th. I'm
the
scrolling
errata
back.
just dropped out of nowhere, and that I think was a Wednesday. But usually, because it's been when I'm flying, and I usually fly out because one was for a wedding, and then another one. Where was I going? I forget. But
I don't
uh,
know. Listen, the moral of the story is any hour now.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It'll probably be dropped before we release this episode. Is what's going to happen.
More than likely.
In
That would be
fact,
cool though. That's
because we're
that's actually
recording.
that's one of the reasons why I just have, chosen not to play Armada in months, not anything else. I just wanted it to feel like a fresh game when that update eventually drops.
Yeah. Super excited. We have no idea what's in it. Could be rules, clarifications, could be points, could be anything. We don't know. I'm
Yeah,
excited.
Schick kind of alluded to a little bit of everything, so who
Yeah.
knows? I am personally hoping MC30s become cheaper, and
All I'm hoping for is our rebel home ones get some justice.
yeah, you know what? After
It's been
flying that at
years.
Gen Con, I agree. I think it'd be great to do something with Home One, but I can now say in a major tournament like Gen Con, I was able to successfully do an Akbar slash with that MC80, and I am going to die on that one. I'm very happy I got to do that.
Well, so I got some ideas for home
Did
one.
you
We'll
die
talk
on that
about it.
one?
Oh, I totally did.
Yeah, yeah. So you did die on that
I
one.
did die on that
We
one.
can forget about it now then,
But
right?
I still did it. Yeah, I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's done. I can stop playing jank. So, uh, but no, so that's I think pretty much all we've got in the news on the Armada front. So um, it's going to be probably pretty quiet, I think, until Worlds and the lead up to Worlds,
Yep.
which I suspect we're going to start hearing. We're October, so probably another 2 months is usually when I start hearing back from the guys at Adepticon with, all right, let's start getting ready for the March event. It's about 90 to 100 days out is when John, you and I usually start thinking about how we're going to do that.
Yeah.
And we can touch base on some of what we're hoping to do for that. But if you guys saw the Uprising coverage, we did start testing out some of the new equipment that we were going to use.
It looks so good. Like the video of the games, it was crystal clear. It was the clearest I've ever seen anything Armada wise on tabletop. It was so good looking. So I'm excited.
We got some new headsets. We're working on some sound stuff. I got a couple ideas on how we can talk, and the players don't necessarily hear us as clearly, so a lot of cool ideas. We're going to be updating all the OBS stuff, and yes, the telestrator does now work.
Nice.
Oh, we're cooking.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So
So let's start talking about the Chicago Uprising tournament as a whole. Let's talk about some stats and what the whole weekend was like. Sadly, I'm just here for the ride. I stopped by for like 45 minutes to say hi for the tournament. And besides that, I let everyone else run it and things like that. So I am just a commentator from the side for most of this conversation.
Yes. You did
oh, I
show up
think
though. You
yeah,
count
I
you
was going
were
to say,
you were an audience member.
Yes, I was.
did he get any participation Tater gear?
No, absolutely not. Get out of
Oh,
here.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
So you didn't sign up, John. Sorry, just we'll give you a
Yeah,
Zuma
no.
kit. Uh,
Chicago Uprising. Fantastic. So I came in as a visitor and a part of it. Adrian and John King, Adrian Valerie, our Ion Radio co-host, honorary, and John Keane were the real driving force behind this, right?
yeah.
And then they roped in Ion Radio, Tater, and a lot of other local people to help judge and stuff. Huge logistical effort, everybody. I don't think it's hard to stress how much effort it takes to organize something of this size. You got to have a venue. You got to have days scheduled. You got to have uh, staff on hand, multiple people, food, tickets running, booth running, setting up tables. Got to get mats that Adepticon provided, which was awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you to Adepticon.
huge shout out to Adepticon. I had a conversation with Hank Edley. Actually, Garrett, you were there when I bumped into him at Gen Con.
Yep.
And I said, hey, we're having this tournament. We're expecting, about 40 players. If you could get us some mats, we'd really appreciate it. So I made the trip down to their warehouse. I had to drive a little bit, but they were more than happy to give us mats for it. And they were able to hit every single table. So I mean, we use some of the Ion Radio mats for the top four, but every other table had Adepticon mats. And I'm really thankful and appreciative to Adepticon. They really truly are out here to help support the community for not just Armada, but every game. But the fact that they did it for our small little game is wonderful.
Yeah. Super awesome. Um, and then beyond that, organized with me to make a lot of the prizes. Not all of them. Adrian made some chef's kiss, amazing golden trophies for Who's the Bosk. He
Hmm.
like handcrafted a Bosk action figure
Yeah.
and turned it into a gold trophy. It looked amazing. And then for the monster truck, maybe Ken can throw some images up here. I don't know. Then for the monster truck, he took a monster truck toy,
Yeah.
cut off the top, took a Victory Star Destroyer, glued it on, and then painted it all gold. Just, I can't, just amazing. It made the stuff I made look cheap. All right, I'm sorry. These things were amazing. Okay. Um, but yeah, no, there was food on site. The tickets like included some food. You could always get extra if you wanted. And there was like side awards. Like if you bought the most concessions, you got like a Job of the Hut pin, which was hilarious.
Yeah, that was
Um,
good.
Definitely the funniest thing that happened. Um, Big open space, skylights, tons of light. Of course, huge streaming area for Ken to set up in
That
and
that was actually
commentate.
really nice because it was quiet in that area, so we weren't getting
Yeah,
a lot of extraneous sound. Oddly enough, again, we were in a library. The downside was the person away from, talking away from us, all their sound hit the books and just died right there. So we were straining our ears to hear a little bit more. But if you were on the side facing the booth, I mean, that was great.
yeah,
But it allowed the players at the table, I know they had more room than they usually do at Adepticon, and there was less interference, which I think allowed them to play the game a little bit more. But what I liked about the main space, Garrett, is it kind of looked like a hangar.
yeah, because of the huge vaulted
Yeah.
ceilings. So nice. Big stat though, 34 people played,
Yeah.
which as far as we could tell, unless you've got some secret Armada competition we haven't found, is the biggest since Worlds,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is super cool. And it's not a grand tournament. Let's
No.
be specific. This is a community driven tournament.
Yeah. They applied for a grand tournament and were turned down, and yet were the largest tournament that took place in the world since post Worlds.
Yeah.
And you guys had like six locals who play weekly that were not able to come because
Yeah.
of just amazing excuses. Um,
I think someone was getting married. And wasn't there like one or two of the Kentucky guys that couldn't come up
yeah,
for some
they
reason?
couldn't come because they didn't have the
So
PTO because they're also going to a wedding.
so two weddings
And
probably eliminated about 6 or 7
our
people.
boy Latrenta was on the wrong continent.
Yeah. So
Uh,
you
yeah,
easily could have probably added another
at
probably
least
10
probably
people,
six. We could have
six
hit
to 10.
40, but
Yeah,
man,
easily get
34
there.
is amazing because it's a great pool for
Hmm.
the main day tournament. And then we did a top eight cut.
Yeah.
And so that leaves like 26 people to split and do these side events, which is enough people to make the side events fun
Hmm.
and very like competitive still, and just a lot happen. There's a lot of excitement in the room, right?
And there were people that, moving in. There was a lot of first-time players to this tournament, probably about 12, give or take. And this was their first tournament, and they felt comfortable to come in. They had a great time. Some of them went to play monster trucks because you want to play with 800 points on the table. Others played Who's the Boss, which is a fun event. to get involved in.
Yeah, if you don't know who the boss is, it's real easy. You build like a 400 point fleet without an admiral, and then you
Mhm.
show up to the event, and then you randomly get dealt any admiral from Armada. So you could fly Architens with Akbar potentially. It's a very
The,
fun
the
idea.
dream.
Yeah. Uh, so that was awesome. Now the structure of the tournament, we took what they did at Gen Con and did 5 rounds over 2 days. So day one, you do 3 rounds, take all your tournament points, the top eight, then proceed to day two, and then you keep those tournament points and then add up from your next 2 games. Uh, I think we had 2 people drop from the top eight, so our top 10 went and did it. Um, there's some controversy. Not everyone loves the system, but I really, really like it. I really like playing 3 rounds on a day because you feel refreshed because you can go home and sleep. And then I wouldn't hate it if both days were 3 rounds, but there's obviously usually a time constraint at venues on a Sunday. So
Yeah.
2 rounds is perfect. But 5 rounds is like for Swiss tournaments, 5 rounds is a really good number. And there's not a whole lot of rematches possible, which is also cool because then you don't play the same people twice when you fly or drive a bunch of time to go play Armada.
It really kind of forced you into a position where at the end of the first day, most people had a chance to get into that top eight. There was groups that clearly that final game, I'm not going to get it, but I'm going to have fun for one game. But there's a good section of the field that could have gotten into top eight. You have to play well. You're forced to play well. And it's not like a 4 round tournament where you say, well, to get into day two, if I 6-5 because I'm in one of the top tables, I can make it. What's interesting about this with 3 rounds, if you're playing 6-5 games, corner deployment not engaging, are you really playing a game of Armada? No.
Yeah.
So in a
Hey,
way,
hey, 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 hey,
unless you're
hey,
John
There's
with
a
his heart
strategy.
off.
hey,
There's a
hey,
strategy to it, but this
hey.
definitely hurts it.
Listen,
Uh,
the people need to be fed.
um, but I think the biggest thing is
Armada, John, not Agricola. Armada.
the biggest
I
thing is
someone
this
the galaxy's a big place. Someone has to be a farmer.
when when you can't do that. So you play hard, right, to get the most points possible. It also makes submarining really difficult.
Yeah.
Because if people at the top aren't playing safe because they know they're getting into day two, people at the bottom could score a 10 and leapfrog uh, up to day two, potentially. But when everybody knows they have to get seven, eights, and nines to even potentially win the tournament, uh, submarining is a lot harder because everyone's playing their heart out. So I don't know. It does hurt fleet archetypes that rely on getting sixes versus certain fleets. But at the same time, like, you can get a couple sixes and still win. So uh, I'm living proof of you can get a couple sixes and still win. But yeah, no, I loved it. Is there anything else we would discuss about it? Obviously, huge shout outs to everyone who helped. Judges, and I wish I could remember all their names, like Doug, Chris. Steph was the library person who helped us out. She was super nice.
That was great.
Uh,
Yeah.
John. I feel like I'm missing a name, but you're all appreciated if you're listening.
It was a lot of work for the judges because they were playing, especially on that second day. They were watching 3 different games. You have your standard Armada tournament, you have monster trucks, and you have who's the boss. And I think there was 1 or 2 questions that came up in who's the boss, just because you've got a CIS admiral on a rebel fleet kind of a thing. You're like, well, there's an odd interaction. How is this going to work?
Right.
Occasionally that got called into question, but for the most part, everyone was doing great. I know from the perspective of talking to a lot of the different players, most of them really liked this format because, especially between round 1 and 2, you had a lunch break. We started late. I think we started at 10 instead of, at 8 or 9. So
Mm-hmm.
everyone came in early. You had your first game, you had lunch, you had another game. And then there was about a half hour from the longest players ending at the end of that round before we started the next round. So I think it was 1:15 and I think 4:15 was the next time, or maybe 4. on the dot. But in either case, pretty much everyone was out by 7. And that's part of the reason we did not do a third round at the libraries. We had to be out by 6. So yeah, we could have compressed the schedule, but with some conversations with John, Adrian, myself, we're like, nah, let's keep the lunch hour. Let's just do 2 rounds and call it there. And I think that was the right decision to make because I think we all got out of there by about 5:35
Yeah.
or
I think the
10.
big thing is like everyone felt well paced.
Yeah.
Everyone wasn't just like, crushing it. Sitting on time on the edge, like running to the bathroom and stuff. So I think it was
I
it's very well done.
Yeah.
I despise 4 or 5 day, 4 or 5 rounds in a day. It's just too much.
Yeah, it's grueling
Yeah.
for sure. Let's leave it to Worlds and leave it there. Uh,
If it was up to this guy, it wouldn't be, but it's not. So,
do 4 days, 3 rounds each. Yeah. But yeah. So what do you want
Actually, you
to
can
do?
get more armada if you do that. Yeah, because your cuts, you'll have more people in certain rounds. I know I did the math at one point, and if you adjust it accordingly, there was like an increase of like 28% armada matches in the mainline tournament and not having 4 rounds.
yeah.
Plus, you get the time to have
Eat.
a break, eat, and by far I think from my perspective, and okay, this is me being a little greedy on the end of being a streamer. We need about 30 minutes between rounds because if we have one game that ends 10 minutes past the time, we have 5 minutes to grab a bite to eat, hit the bathroom, reset everything, and make sure we're ready to go for the next group. And that's tough to be able to do that. And that's from our perspective. If you're a player and you have to do that, you're also moving all your equipment then to the next table. And if you're on the opposite side, that's a lot to do in a 5 minute time
And
frame.
it's really difficult to do unless you have that very nice Admiral Tater gear.
Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
true.
Or a Ryan Becker duct tape core box.
Right.
Real tournament system.
Exactly.
All right.
The original tournament set. Yeah.
That's right.
Um, Also, for the streamer, you have the 2 hours pre and the 2 hours
Yeah.
post to clean up too. So like most of the nights when we do streaming like that, it's like, so what is still open?
Yeah.
Can we eat it before we have to go to bed to wake up? It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
I think
So
almost every night, the past 2 Adepticons is what, like 9 o'clock when we were eating dinner?
And that
roughly.
would be early,
That
first
Yeah.
would
off.
be early. I think it was closer to 10, 11.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Get ran ragged. But anyways, shall we talk about the top four fleets?
let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. I am first up here with my boy Nick Coulters. He had CIS. So I was all CIS, but he was CIS and he was a Zamartuk fleet. I really liked his fleet. I faced him in round 3 of day 1. And I got to tell you, I was extremely worried because I only had the one ship to fight him, and he's got Patriots Fist and a Providence and a Munificent. So extremely concerned. All right. But he's got his flagship was the Providence carrier with Martuk, ECMs, flat guns, assault concussion missiles, point defense ion cannons, DBY turbo lasers, invincible title, and advanced projectors. Really interesting. The advanced projectors as his second upgrade, especially since you've only got the one redirect. So I thought that was really interesting. He did use it well though during the battle. Recusant, like Destroyer, obviously. Here it comes. He's got Tykes, Vec Hunters, assault proton torpedoes, swivel mount batteries, and Patriot's Fist. Pretty standard situation here and absolutely terrifying. Then he had a Munificent Star Frigate, and it has thermals on it. Or I'm sorry, not thermals. He's got ECMs, LTTs, and engine techs. And then the most interesting part of his fleet that he didn't get to use against me, but he's got a Gazanti with the MS-1 ion cannons, which is the ion cannon that lets you, with a blue crit, choose and exhaust one of the defender's upgrade cards, and that's really fun. I don't know if he ever got to use it very much because it's kind of a hard one to successfully achieve with his Kazanti, but it's only 2 points. So, and he wanted the Kazanti for activation padding. And then his objectives were most wanted, asteroid tactics, and solar corona with no bid. His fleet was a full 400 points. Um, yeah. So basically, the Providence is a tank, and then the Maleficent tries to fly along the edge, and then Patriots Fifth comes and cleans up. Man, it's been a while since we actually talked about the tournament and the objectives, but I think what we used to do was we talk about what should objective we would take if we were playing into him as first
First
player.
player.
Mhm.
I would hands down always take Solar Corona, no
But
doubt.
you don't want to do most wanted
Yeah, most one with Mark took. No.
in a
Uh,
Kazanti.
or give him asteroid tactics to put the
Yeah,
obstacles around and get back his tokens. Absolutely not.
yeah. No, it's Solar Corona.
It,
That's literally you just go through it and you just pick it immediately.
it,
Um, to
it's
note,
yeah. Good.
what's interesting thinking about this setup is this Providence excels against single large targets. So if you were playing like against fleets that typically only had like one um ISD or um like a fighter wing type thing, or even like those types of fleets that don't have a lot of firepower, that are centered around like one ship. This would do amazingly well at it with the ECMs and advanced projectors. You would just be able to rotate your shields and still use your brace, and then you'll be fine for the next round. So that's what I kind of see this fleet being very good at, especially because both of those other flankers can just annihilate that one ship with added red dice. So, but I'm picking Solar Corona.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
this, the one that actually caught my eye was engine techs on the Muni. And Nick had we had him on stream for I think it was the first game of day two, and he did use those engine techs to get that Muni up to effectively speed three and just keep it where he needed it to be. And it was really well organized on how he did that. I'm also picking Solar Corona, not only because it's honestly the best choice, but I mean, unfortunately, and I'm going to pick on Nick just a little bit, he completely forgot that he had Solar Corona in his game, and it did cost him a little bit. So my
Most
hope would,
common error in the game. Most
I mean,
common.
I'm going to say everyone does it, so
Yeah.
don't feel bad, Nick. John, you and I have played Solar Corona a couple times on the channel, and realized we didn't do Solar Corona until like round five.
Yeah. I watched this game because I was home. It's really weird watching our own stuff, to be very honest. Um, but I don't think it really would have mattered at the end of the day.
I think the Gozer would have still been there another turn.
Another turn, but then I just don't think it would have mattered. In the big picture, I just don't think it would have mattered. So, um, while it's always frustrating to miss opportunities like that, it went both ways. And looking at the outcomes of it, I just don't think it really would have mattered at the end of the day,
Yeah.
especially being second player. And when the Providence in that match went down, there were still other activations to go. So the Providence was going down that same turn regardless.
When you look at some of the dice rolls too, they were definitely in Rob's favor because I think he was playing Rob that game. Uh, poor Nick was having some problems with his dice, so he had a couple things going against him. So clearly, you're trying to figure out how do I salvage things, and you're going to forget stuff. But yeah, having kind of rewatched that particular one because you and I talked about it later on that day, I'm like, yeah, okay, maybe not. So. Again, I'm in the moment trying to figure out what's going on. I'm not paying as much attention to the game in its entirety, if you will. I'm like, what's happening right now so that I can tell the people at home, which I'm going to say that has got to be the weirdest thing about doing the streaming part is you completely forget what's going on in the game outside of what's happening right now.
Yes, you do.
Yes. But yeah,
Do-
super fun fleet. Really fun battle. The only reason I was able to eke a 6 out against him, because I did have that single large to fight against, was he chose my close range intel scan. So, and then his Patriots fist didn't quite get to me till a little bit after it needed to. Um, but still, highly recommend this Providence build to somebody. It's really fun. Maybe experiment with advanced projectors and thermal shields instead of the ECMs. I think that could be really interesting. But the assault concussion missiles, if you can get those off, are pretty annoying. So, but yeah,
He
I
did
don't know.
get, I think, one of the APTs on Patriot Fist stuff because of the swivel mounts.
Oh, against Rob.
Oh yeah, I think he got it against Rob, and that was I'm like that's cool because I
Yeah,
think he was at long range when he did it.
yeah. If you can get a con fire and then swivel Patriots fish shot off at long
Yeah,
range,
yeah,
yeah. And he's got vet gunners,
yeah.
so he can fish.
Hmm.
Super
Yes, he
danger
can.
ship.
So
Okay,
next, Rob's.
Anyways, next.
perfect. Let's talk about Rob's build. He is a Rebel Providence class carrier. So, interesting thing. Almost all of the fleets in the top of this have some form of Providence.
Yeah, actually they do.
Providence nerf incoming. Um, the admiral on this is Agate. And then in the co-pilot seats, you have Ramus and Walix, your standard to go with that admiral. You have boarding troopers, ordnance experts, expanded hangar bay, auxiliary shield team, and engine techs. What's fun about the Rebel Providence is it's just how many cards can I throw on this? Oh, it's already expensive. Just put some more cards on it. And it's just what it does. And it's fun that way. This ship is super, super tanky with Agate. What token would you guys typically pick with this Agate build?
Brace all day. It's not going to
Brace?
stop being brace. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Brace.
Yeah,
I always pick Brace.
another break.
100% agree with that. And then you can always bring it back with Whalix.
Wait, Alex.
And then you have an MC-30 torpedo frigate with skilled first officer, ordnance experts, electronic countermeasures, external racks, and foresight. Then you have a CR-90 with turbo laser reroute circuits and Jaina's light. And then you have two GR-75s, one with Ahsoka and reserved hangar deck, and the other one with Hondo and parts resupply. For fighters, you have Lieutenant Blount, three Z-95 headhunters, and Shara Bay. So that's a if you want to fight, it's going to be annoying to fight into my squadron balls to keep it off. And then you actually have some nimble ships to fly around your extremely slow Providence. For objectives, we have Most Wanted, Asteroid Tactics, and Infested Fields. Which one of these are you boys going to pick?
I'll start. Astro Tactics, no doubt. It's the least bad option. At least he can't get 15 points up on me, and he can't move the obstacles around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, all agreeing Asteroid Tactics.
yeah.
Is today going to be the first day ever that we've all
I'll
agreed on
agree.
all of them?
I don't know.
Quite
We have two
potentially.
more fleets to go, so
Yeah. Listen.
I'm still saying, if you want a fun game, Most Wanted. If Most Wanted was on both flagships, Most Wanted would be a lot of fun all the time, and you wouldn't ever see it picked in tournaments. But as long as you're allowed, or non-flotilla ships, that would be nice. Most
that
Yeah.
would
Wanted
be an
has to
interesting
be
change to
on
that
a
card.
non-flotilla ship. Then we're talking.
Oh, there
That's
you
my
go.
hot take of the day.
Put that in the notebook.
Yeah.
I'll listen. I gotta say this: these boarding trooper rebel providences are getting out of hand. They're popping
Well,
up
we
everywhere.
started that, didn't we?
Yeah. So I fought against this fleet in his prior version where he had two more CR90s instead of an MC-30. Uh, it's rough. It's a lot of firepower. Because he's gonna get to you with his rebel providence. He's gonna get to you. Engine tech, speed 3, he's coming.
Hmm.
Um, I love his squad ball. This thing is such a annoying speed bump that's worth nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, I don't know if anybody's ever fought against Lieutenant Blount and Z95s. It's not commonly taken, but a Z95 with two rerolls is heinous. Okay,
Still zero damage. I don't know what you're talking about.
heinous. All right.
Zero.
He's gonna get them. He's gonna get a double. Okay, and it's gonna be frustrating. But anyway, but then it's just frustrating to get through, and he's got reserve hanger deck, so he's gonna be an issue. Um, the other thing that's really cool about this fleet is you can take engine techs and auxiliary shield teams. And aux shield teams on a Rebel Prov, okay, it's a problem. 5 shields and 4 on each side.
Yeah.
That's a lot, guys. You're not getting through it easily. And if he has time to, get his points back with Ramus, all right, with his little extra token, all right, 6 engineering points per turn per repair command. Oh, yeah, this is a good fleet. And Rob flies it really well.
He does. He's got a lot of practice with it. And it's different from what he flew at Gen Con, but it's an evolution, I think, thereof.
Yeah. And he's got
You said
Ahsoka. He's going to get the boarding troopers off. He's going to get it.
you
Yeah.
said you said that you've played this fleet in a different iteration. Which fleet did you think was more painful to play? With an
Actually,
MC30 or more CR90s?
I was definitely more afraid of his multiple CR90s with TRCs. I feel like the MC30 is dangerous, but if I can catch it, I can kill it. But CR90s just float at long range, and once he got boarding troopers off, right, that's 3 more TRC shots that I can do nothing about. Very scary. So but this was good too, but he won Gen Con with the other version. So
That is true. He did.
yes.
I like the Z95s because that's 5 or 6 damage against squadrons, with each one, at least for me. So
Yeah, they're just annoying.
yeah.
Lieutenant Blount and
6 after a
Z95s.
PDIC.
Yeah, they cost nothing and they're great.
Huh, I like them. That's me. But yeah, asteroid tactics, definitely what we're picking on this fleet. And Garrett, you hit the nail on the head with the 2 key points. It's you're not giving away victory token points, and you can't do really much of anything with those asteroids. That's they're placed, they're done.
Yeah. And he's got 5 activations. That's
Yeah.
a lot. So, and he's got a 7 point bid. I mean, this list has got it all. He's got the bid, he's got the activations, he's got a really annoying squad ball that costs nothing. I can't stress that enough. 50 points
Yeah,
plus
that is
reserve hanger
nothing.
deck. So you got to kill 2 of those Z95s twice. Hmm, yeah. Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
It's basically the cost of a Jaina's Light TRC 90.
Yeah. And so much token control. He's got Hondo, he's got parts resupplies, Ahsoka, Ramus, um,
First skilled.
skilled first
Yeah.
officer on the MC30. Man, if you have not flown any of this stuff, I highly recommend this list to people. And his alternative is you take out the MC30 and add in 2 more CR90s with TRC.
Cool.
Maybe he just had one GR75 there. The points are right. But yeah,
Yeah. Probably one less GR75.
I think it was.
Still, any
Rebel
other
Prov, man.
comments on this? I'm telling you, Providence.
It's
Nerf.
good.
They need a
Listen,
nerf.
the
They need
Og
a
Shield
nerf.
team's the engine techs. That's mm, the tank. Total tank with the agate. It's really weird. I remember when the Providence came out, everybody was pretty dogging on it. But recently,
When?
people
It
have
wasn't
dogged
this
on this
group.
since it came out.
This
All right.
this was
I'm
it was
saying
not this group.
general community outlook. All right. Was
I'm like,
dogging
this is
on
the
it.
funnest ship ever. I can play Agate with it. I can play Radis with it. I can play Sato with it. You name mainly any Rebel commander, and I can make you a fun Providence list with it.
Yeah. There's so many like these
Nadine.
cards, like engine techs and boarding
It
troopers.
can actually steer.
Yeah, true.
It can see the fact that you
No,
could take boarding
Nadine doesn't
troopers
work.
and ordnance experts
Uh,
is
well,
really
yeah,
good.
the double icons in some cases is kind of cool with it. So
Yeah. Imagine if you had a CIS province that you could take boarding troopers and ordnance experts. It'd be wild.
Put Teeks and Rune Hakow on the same ship.
Oh man. Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Anyways, congratulations, Rob. Well done. Well deserved. Third place. Fantastic.
You get third place. So moving on to second place, we have Josh. Josh has the only non-Providence fleet in the top four. He's got a Kirsta Gate fleet, which I think this is now two Kirstas. It's Martuk and Grievous fill out the top four. So Kirsta's on a Starhawk Mark One with Whalix Blissix, Mage Durlin, Kakin and Sholin, point defense ion cannons, link turbo laser towers, and the Amity title, which gives you the extra evade. There's a CR90A with Ahsoka Tano, fighter coordination teams, turbo laser reroute circuits, and of course the Jaina's Light title. One more ship, GR-75 medium transport flotilla with Torrent Far and the Bright Hope title. And then we get into about 110 point squadron ball. It's actually 108. Starting out with Lando Calrissian, Shara Bay, two VCX 100s. I'm gonna appease Garrett here and say Tycho
Thank you.
Belshu, you're welcome, and Corrin Horn in a Z-wing. So it's a different mix of characters. And then for objectives, advanced gunnery, fire lanes, and sensor net.
Surprise, surprise.
Now, well, you got those VCXs to move the little tokens around for fire lanes and sensor net. And do you really want to take advanced gunnery against a Starhawk of
Absolutely.
all things?
Yes.
Um, so, I mean, I'm taking a quick look here to see
I'll let you guys answer and then I'll answer my
the
question.
maximum number of points you can take. What can you get on sensor net? It's you have to
17
be
tokens is what you should expect any experienced player to gain in fire lanes and sensor net throughout the game.
so there's just really no good option there.
255 points.
Yeesh.
All right. It's a lot.
Versus destroyed objective ship doubled. Do not. I'm going to take advanced gunnery and I'll just not lose as many.
Yeah. In real life, I took advanced gunnery. It's the right choice.
Yeah.
Depends. If you're not decked to immediately kill the Starhawk, it's advanced gunnery every single time.
Yeah.
If you're ready to rumble and ready to kill it, it's sensor net.
Mm,
You gotta be real sure though. Real sure.
Well, yes,
Real sure.
but in the end, if you expect to kill a Starhawk that's a farm list, and that's what you're coming to play, you take SensorNet and you let them be confused on their end of the table of how to make these tokens move while you blow it up. It's just extra. No, trust me on this.
I agree.
I know.
I'm with you.
And like you can still gain a couple tokens as you move across the field. So like, cool. I will gain an extra 15 points every time as I charge across the field to kill you. And you have to still play your game of moving tokens around the entire time. Well, I just don't care because I'm rolling dice to blow you up.
Now the bright
right.
side of this one, he's got the CR90 to get away and could also save his squadrons. So it wouldn't be as easy if he
No, I'm not
collects
saying it isn't as easy,
enough
but
citronets.
that's why it's if I'm ready to kill it,
Yeah.
let's kill
If
it.
let's say if he had no CR90 and
The classic.
The
If
classic Mark II, and then less squads, you pick sensor and go for the Starhawk. But
I
it
mean at Worlds now 2 years ago, it seems like that's a long time. I played with my double onager list. I knew I was going to kill the Starhawk, so it's 100% sensor net, and I
well,
just annihilated it.
that's a little different scenario with
Right,
the
but
onager.
like the advanced gunnery makes the Starhawk you have to run from it basically. Otherwise it can kill you.
Right.
Right.
With
So
onagers. Yes.
no, just in general. If you aggressively play a Starhawk advanced gunnery ship into another fleet, it will win. Its front arc is one of the strongest front arcs in the game.
Yeah.
Twice.
If you're in the front arc.
Right. So the Starhawk player has to be ready for that.
Right. You can navigate around. But yeah, you're right. But anyways, I would take advanced gun specifically
Yeah.
Yeah.
against this fleet because of the CR90. and the squadrons.
Hmm.
That Starhawk scares me. I mean,
Hmm.
it's
It is
I
it is
just
still scary. It's not as scary as Mark One though, or
well,
Mark
this
Two.
Mark One, yeah,
It's not as scary as Mark Two.
it's still a
I agree.
powerful ship, and you have that double tap hurts, and you don't want to be, especially if you have like an MSU fleet that I'm usually running. I mean, I'm going to be attempting to outmaneuver the Starhawk is what I'm doing. Just stay at long range if I can or beyond, just so I don't die. Because a Starhawk easily will eat through an MC-30 a turn if it really wants to, especially if
Yeah,
it can hit me twice. And if I survive a turn of shots from the Starhawk, I'm probably barely alive, and I don't have defense tokens to survive the second salvo. I mean, it'll eat a CR-90 in one shot, I think, or
yeah.
definitely one turn.
If you park one there, for sure.
Yeah, but
Don't do that.
well, yeah, but by the same token, CR-90, Garrett, as you've already alluded to, you kind of float it around at long distance and you keep it away, and yeah, you'll be able to hit it, but you're not hitting it as hard. Just a matter of, getting it into the right arcs and out of that front one, like you said.
Yeah.
Although side arcs are still pretty clean.
So I think the coolest thing about this Farm Hawk is his squad ball is built for killing.
Yes.
Um, instead of just like defensive sitting around the Starhawk. He's got Lando, and then he's got Cornhorn with Snipe, and he's Rogue.
Yeah.
It's a real problem actually for people. That's a squadron killer, and Tycho and Shara go tie you up, line up the shot for Corn, then Corn goes to town, and then Lando goes yeehaw and blows up your flotilla. So
Horn is a fighter that I really, really like that you rarely ever see.
Yeah.
yeah, he's hard to fit in a squad ball. Um, to synergize. And this is it. This is a good squad ball. 108 points. Um, you could ditch these VCXs if you're doing something else and get those 30 points and bring anything you want. Uh,
Or
probably
Z95s.
Janiques or whatever. Um, no. Uh, yeah. What is that? Seven. You bring four Z95s. Um, I don't know. This corn horn was great. Super deadly. And I think you guys said he was sniping all day on stream.
Mhm.
So just destroying squadrons. Snipe 4 is a lot, guys. It's a lot.
You have snipe 4, which is a lot of dice to roll. You're out of range. You're not going to really you can pick stuff away. And as you said, you get Shara and Tycho in there. Tycho doesn't care if he's stopped because he can just get out of there. And then Shara gets in there. Do you really want to shoot against either one? Because their counter is just going to knock you out. So you get Corn to snipe, you take half your hull, and then you have to shoot at Shara or Tycho, and the counter kills you. So it's a nasty combination. It was really cool watching Josh take a couple fighters out.
Yeah. The other neat thing about this is if he's not doing his farming crap, the VCXs have relay.
Mhm.
And that's super useful with his CR90 to activate one or two squads because it's relay one. He's got two of them. And these VCXs, 8 whole points is an obnoxious amount. Even if you get a lot of hits, like it's going to take you 4 squadrons probably. Uh, just hitting the VCX, potentially take it out maybe.
Mhm.
Um, they're speed 3, which is no slouch, and they have 3 anti-squadron blues. Um, not a bad ship, all things considered, but the relay really helps to push Shara and Corrin, or Sarah and Tycho, because Lando and Corrin are rogues. So yeah, no, I was concerned about that squad ball. So no, it was good. Um, and of course the Starhawk built pretty standard. Derlin, Pittix, LTTs, Whalix, Agate, as unkillable as you can make them. Amity. Um, I think the coolest part about Amity though is the when an enemy ship overlaps you can deal 1 additional face down damage card to both ships.
Mm. Bless you. And again. If he goes a third time,
Man, I got it muted just in time there. Um,
you hit that cough button. I had to
yeah,
do that with Adrian on stream. I think it might have even been during this game. And
I think so.
I
You're
caught him,
dying
but
over there.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, while we were playing this game, I forgot that he had Amity. It's a really good thing I didn't ram him because I was considering that. That's really funny actually. I tried to turn into him and I didn't turn hard enough, and we ended up like flying by each other. Man, I got really lucky there. I totally forgot Amity's does the devil face down card. Oh, buddy, wow, that's big time luck for me. Um, yeah, I don't know. Great job, Josh. He was a phenomenal opponent to Flagons.
Hmm.
You can watch the game. It's a pretty good game.
He kept the game
Um,
exciting. Yeah. That was a
Yeah.
yeah,
good way to end the game.
I
Uh,
think one of the
tournament.
biggest things I want to talk about in the game, you'll see us do it. Like when you're playing Armada with somebody and y'all are moving squads, do what we did and just say what you're trying to do and help each other get your stupid squadrons moved.
Hmm.
Because he's like, I want to be engaged with this, but not with that. Okay, great. Let's do that real fast.
Yeah.
Instead of fiddling for like 10 minutes trying to do it, like just tell me, play by intent. Everyone's in agreement. Like I know what you're trying to do. Let's not waste 30 minutes pushing squadrons around. It's like we're just playing a game. It's okay. Uh
Yeah, we noticed that, and that was great because it did speed up the game. We've seen, at World, there'll be 30 minutes spent on one turn of squadron movement to try and do that. That in your case, Garrett, you guys were able to do it in 25 seconds.
yeah, like instantly. He's like, I want to not be engaged with Watt, but shoot this guy. And I'm
Yeah,
like, okay, cool. Let's just do that real fast. And so we got two tools out and
yeah,
cheated. So
yeah.
I was like, if we both hold one, they can't get us.
Well,
Um,
technically, each one of you is only using one tool, right?
yeah, exactly.
Technically, it's legal.
Yeah, super easy. But yeah, no, I recommend watching the end of that game because he's chasing my Gazanti with his advanced gunnery Starhawk, and it's definitely the most exciting thing I've ever done. Uh, and then after that, there's a dogfight with Cornhorn that you
Hmm.
got to watch. That's also really exciting.
No,
So
it was a good final battle. I enjoyed watching it.
yeah. I won by 2 points.
2 points. Yeah.
2 points. That's close, man. Jeez. But anyways, yeah. Congrats, Josh. Excellent job. Super fun fleet. His take on the farm hawk for the CR90. You guys got anything else you want to say about it?
This is more of just Farmhawks in general. What's your thoughts on replacing advanced gunnery with a different red objective?
I don't know.
Not that I really want to resurrect and bring back farm hawking
Farm
into.
hawks. I don't know. The advanced gunnery is just. I mean, it's so good still. Um. If I had to pick one, let me think. Fill dead air. Fill dead air.
I mean, are you thinking, John, of keeping the ship the same or maybe modifying it a little bit to,
Well, if you're running a farm hawk, you want to be farming.
you know,
So I
All
would.
right.
What's your opinion of
I
station
got it.
assault being added in?
Well, you could do that one. I got another idea.
Mhm.
I say put H9s
I think
close range
Garrett, you and
intel
I were
scan.
thinking the same lines. H9's in close range intel scan?
Yeah, let's do
Yeah.
it.
And then what? You put H9s on your CR90s and you have a swarm of CR90s?
Oh, now we're cooking. All
Yeah.
right.
Pick up
Yep.
points. I
The
mean,
next toxic build has been born.
yeah,
Yep. No way out of the farm. No way out.
yeah,
You're getting farmed.
yeah.
That's yeah, here we go. All right. Josh,
Because
that's
because what's the difference between the your opponent fully retreating or fully retreating, right?
yeah. Ooh, man.
And then you're kind of just putting them in the position of, okay, what do I want to do? I have to kill the Starhawk now because my options are all bad.
Man.
Um,
Oh my
you
gosh,
know,
yeah. H9's on the CR90
but station assault, that's an interesting thought also, because that's what, 40 points?
per station, right?
Per
Yeah.
station. So
Yeah.
you drop
So
the
that's
stations
80.
next to each other and you have to go through the Starhawk to get to them.
Mhm.
So as a Starhawk player, then you're just trying to kill 80 points worth of the other fleet to win. And they have to come to you or it's a seven,
Yeah.
just automatic seven.
And if they come to you and they don't do it right, it's going to be an 8 or a 9.
Correct.
Eh,
Mm, mm.
yeah, yeah. I like those. I like that. I do like that.
Two good options.
Uh, uh, I think the close range intel scan idea is a little bit more frustrating to an extent because,
Charming. Yeah,
yeah,
but here's the thing though. Starhawks have salvos.
And you could get double salvos. Welcome back, Hate Hawk.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, we it is born. Okay.
All right, I know what I'm bringing to the store. So,
Way to make friends.
yeah,
That's what that
well,
is.
I'm friends with you guys, so
I'm the one that runs it. The reason
yeah.
I don't know why you're still friends with me.
Glut
Patience.
for punishment.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay. So now we're gonna look at the winners list.
Winners list. All right. So this
Okay,
is
Nick Larson's
totally,
fleet. So,
totally not Nick's list. All right. Taters, totally not Nick's list. No, this is Nick's unskilled first officers list from Worlds that I took and changed two things. Okay. Uh I took the sniper tri fighter and a different yellow objective. But let's talk about it. So this thing is brutal. All right, it's a Providence class carrier. Okay, General Grievous as the commander on board, Rune Hako, thermal shields, intensify firepower, boosted comms, external racks, point defense ion cannons, H9 turbo lasers, invincible title, and early warning systems. 172 points of ship. All right. And then it's got a hard cell transport, and I got Hondo, projection experts, and a bomber command center. And that bomber command center paid dividends. And then there's a Gazanti with TI 99, also a incredibly frustrating card for people. Squad ball, 127 points worth of squads here. We've got Dis T81. He's the sniper. Attacks cannot be obstructed. Um, Brace Scatter. And then we've got Wat Tambor and his escort Belbelub, 6 vultures, and 4 hyenas for 12 total squadrons. It's a lot. It's a lot of squadrons, everybody. The objectives, this is the secret sauce, close range intel scan, asteroid tactics, and infested fields. Listen, everybody, if you're playing me or anybody with this fleet, close range intel scan is a trap. Do not pick this card under any circumstances. It is a trap. Take asteroid tactics, and now I got to change that because everyone's going to start taking it. And even asteroid tactics is still painful, because I'm going to take advantage of the X course and overlapping asteroids. But yeah, this is an amazing list. Obviously, the trick is if they pick close range intel scan, you have intensify firepower and H9s so that you can infinitely make sure you get accuracies, whether you're attacking or making salvo shots. And you can take attacks at dumb little ships that you would never kill, like a Gazanti or a GR75, and farm 10 points off of it. The early warning systems and thermal combo is fantastic because of the way the timing works. When you thermal, you remove half their dice, and then their attack is obstructed by the early warning systems. And so now they're down another dice. So you take an ISD's 8 dice, and it turns to 3, and then they get really upset. Let's see. Bomber Command Center with hyenas. Listen, if you command hyenas, they get their 2 red dice. One of them's going to hit. One of them will be blank. Reroll into a hit. Pittix can only do one of them. So you're getting 1 damage through, generally. On average, 1 damage is going to get through. And then because you are Grievous, take advantage of your crappy vultures and throw them into counter squadrons and murder them. Or throw them off the board if you're at distance 5. It can kill them. Yeah. Super fun. Had a great time with this. Yeah, it's just a fun list to fly. It's so thematic. It punishes people for doing everything that you should do. Like
Yeah, it really does.
if you take close range still scan, it punishes you for shooting me because I can solve you and get points. If you kill a squadron, I get stronger. Uh, it's very counterintuitive to deal with. Um, and I'm willing to sacrifice an 8 point vulture in the effort of getting a 10 point token. Like I was throwing in my salvo and the throwing away vultures because I was getting ahead by 2 points by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It was fun watching you kill your own squadrons, just running them right off the board.
Yeah. Or
Um,
attacking like Volt Scaris or Shara Bay. I was like,
yeah,
yes, kill me. I was like, do you
yeah,
have a reroll
yeah.
perhaps to
You were
kill my
asking,
vulture?
making sure, please, can you do more damage?
Where is Torin Far? Is they in range?
Uh, it's, it was like, is Garrett trying to get, oh, Grievous, right?
Is
Yes.
this a swarm perhaps?
No, it's kind of cool. Actually, I like what you did with DIS T81 instead of I think it was DFS 311 is what Nick had him.
Yes. So Nick's original is he takes the vulture that has intel,
Hmm.
and I know what he's doing. He's using that to navigate Wat Tambor around
Yeah.
potentially, and just lock up stuff. Uh, Also good. Nick's a better player than I am, so he's able to really utilize that intel a lot better. I use the sniper as a crutch. Because let me tell you, when you see Anakin, he can kill your vultures faster than you can spend your defense tokens. So Anakin's scary. Deltakin.
This is up there in my top five favorite fighters.
Dude, he's amazing. Listen, everybody, take Dis. Here's what you do. Here's the secret sauce. Take Dis, put him on an obstacle. It's game over.
Can't be obstructed. You've got counter.
Profit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
profit.
it's so good. If you have flight controllers, he has Snipe 5.
With Swarm.
It is
Swarm. Yeah.
insane, actually. Yeah, he's a super good. And he's only 17 points.
Yeah, it's
Holy
cheaper
smokes.
than the DFS. Plus, you still got the counter three with TI 99.
If you wanted to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did sometimes I used it if I thought I was gonna die. Yeah. She did sometimes for sure.
So
Yeah.
here's the $1 million question, Garrett. Your objectives, close range intel scan, asteroid tactics, and infested fields. What would you choose against yourself?
You have to take asteroid tactics. It's a trap.
Disaster tactics.
Yeah.
It's like again, because this is really the last time I really played Armada back at Worlds 2 years ago now. When I was facing who was the player that was really went really far, almost made it into day two with CIS. Really, really good.
Oh, jeez. Santos.
Yes.
Damon.
Damon. Um, Everyone was like, "Oh, you should be choosing this red objective." I'm like, "Ha ha ha! Against a Dooku list? No, thank you.
Yeah.
I will take the other bits of poison then to get farmed all the time because I have um an objective token on my ship I can't get rid of. No, thank you. I've seen this trap before and I will not fall into it. I'm still gonna lose this game, but it's not gonna be by that trap.
Oh man. Um, I think the other key part of this list is Rune Hako. It's really important that you put the tokens you need on your hard sell or Gazanti because that's your comp system. Is Rune Hako can take a token off his own card and one other shit. Um, yeah, I use that constantly to
Yeah, you
fuel
were
Confire.
constantly playing with tokens and using Rune Hakao to grab what you needed.
Yeah,
So it was some excellent token play, Garrett.
Rune
thank you.
double Confire.
Absolutely. Yeah. So basically, I would Hondo. So I would queue up a Confire on the hard sell and take that for my first IF. And then after that, I generally needed to take like a nav token or a squadron token for Unhako. So then it was the next four or the next three I needed was off his own card and then Hondo. because usually you only need to IF 4 rounds. If you're IFing it in round 6, it's possible that you could just take it off
Chuck
the
it.
hard sell or whatever.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You
Or
could
throw
just
it off
chuck
the
the
board. Yep.
card.
So, which I don't even think I did. I like always had a token, which is kind of funny. Um,
My planning worked so well, I outplanned myself.
yeah, I like didn't need to get rid of the card ever because Rune Hako is so flexible. Pretty crazy actually. Uh,
You had
yeah,
that down pat too, the intensified firepower into the H9 to get your close range intel scan. I mean,
yeah,
that was pretty
yeah.
cool to watch that first game.
I've nothing against anybody. But like I was really surprised because 3 out of 5 players, 3 out of 4 players that could choose pick close range intel scan.
Wow.
Um, so I think they were just really concerned about the exogorths and then the infested fields exogorths and moving. It's bad, but I don't think a lot of people have played against close range intel scan, and it adds up shockingly fast.
Yes.
And first player like can't score off it. I got to tell you, you got to roll 2 accuracies to score, and no one's gonna spend both their accuracies to collect 10 points because they're trying to kill me. So
What was the largest number of tokens you wound up capturing?
definitely that first game. I think I
Was
got like
10, I think.
100,
Yeah.
110, maybe like 11. I'd have to go back and look. But generally, like this objective saved me against a lot of those fleets. Like against Nick's Providence, our Providences tabled each other. I won the head-on-head clash, and then here comes Patriots Fist. It's like, all right, hold on here. Rolls 8 dice, and then I die. So, but I had enough points from close range intel scan to shift it.
Question. So you tabled each other?
No, oh, I'm sorry. The
Okay.
Providences sunk each
Okay.
other.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
now what's
Okay.
actually
I'm like,
crazy?
because then the points and tokens don't matter at
Don't
Yeah,
all.
matter.
what's even crazier is because he chose closer range intel scan. There got to be 2 dust fields, and he would have tabled. However, my hard cell and Gazanti both got to hide behind a dust field, and he couldn't shoot at me.
That's amazing.
It was incredibly lucky. That well, listen, I flew that way, but still luck. All right, I'll say it because he was coming because that stupid Munificent and Patriots Fist were on my tail.
I am going to start seriously looking at bringing that card more often.
I listen. I keep working shop of this, but there is some magic with home one in here.
Yeah. Home one in CR90s?
Yeah, with H9s, reactive gunnery on a
Ooh.
double defensive home one.
Let me quickly write this down.
I've
Yeah.
been doing a lot of research. I'm like, how can I do this with other factions?
You would have to not play Akbar though to get the salvo to work properly.
No, no, don't play Akbar.
So
600 point game. Akbar.
Good. I don't know. I've been trying to work the Rebel Pelta into it. It's very difficult because I want the intensified firepower too. But basically, I've come to this monstrosity of agate on the Pelta, and it's like 114 points.
it's like every Sato build ever. Hold on, hold on. If you just gave me like an extra 200 points, this would be unstoppable.
You can't stop me now. No, it's pretty funny. I got it built, and I'm like, I don't know, because it's the same activations as this, but way less squads.
The
So
question was, could I? The question wasn't, should
should
I?
I? I don't know. I'm tossing like 3 lists up for Ozark, which one I should bring. So I think it would be pretty funny though.
You're going to
Having
bring something completely different. So everyone's going to start planning against the three you've kind of hinted at.
yeah.
It comes Garrett with like a Darth Vader build or
They
something.
don't really do need to do much prep against those lists from the sound of it. So
Yeah. I don't know.
That's funny.
Let's start a close range intel scan wave. Uh, love it. But awesome guys. Yeah. So
yeah.
anyways,
Well, big congratulations for winning the biggest tournament since Worlds.
thank you.
So
That was very exciting. It's my first tournament win ever, actually.
nice.
You haven't won a tournament before, Garrett? I thought you would have.
Nope. I think the closest I've ever come is second.
Well, hey, congrats. Definitely. Big
Thank
win. Huge field, 34 players. That's nothing small. That's larger than a GT size.
Yeah,
Um,
technically, yeah.
yeah.
No, I was pretty excited. Now I have the title. I took it from Chicago. I feel very satisfied that I took it out of your state and
You,
it's in my
you,
basement now.
you got to sneak in when like the best Chicagoland players weren't
That's
around.
right. Nick wasn't there to stop me. John wasn't there to stop me. Ken was commentating. All right, I got away with it.
So I just don't play these big tournaments. I'm buying I'm in the booth talking about it, otherwise, I'd have like six titles by now. So
Yeah,
Uprising next year will actually be an uprising of Chicago to take it back.
yeah. Oh
yeah.
man.
Yeah, John, you got to play. So
I would have to play. That's the problem.
uh,
You know
No, it's
my
gonna be
stance on
awesome.
tournaments.
yeah, I do.
Adrian will have tickets on sale soon.
We're
11 months
planning
from now.
11 months in advance. They will all be available starting
I
November
I
11th.
think we'll have more people next time because like
Yeah.
now people know it's the situation. So
Yeah, and the I think we were talking about being able to host up to 50 players for this time through, and having taken a look at it, we might be able to squeeze a few more in there if we needed to. So, assuming we do it again, and I suspect that Adrian is already talking about it, that it's going to be another hit in a year or so, and it's a great way to start the fall tournament season.
yeah. Also super easy to get to from a lot
Mhm.
of places. Chicago is like pretty centrally located. A lot
Yeah.
of our Vermont communities.
And we did have a lot of people come up, yeah, down from your neck of the woods, and come
Hmm.
down from parts of
Mich-
Milwaukee,
Wisconsin.
yeah, yeah, from Wisconsin. So we did a good pull from all around the area. So that was actually pretty cool to see just the variety of people that we have, in addition to just what we have in the Chicagoland area. Granted, our meta is pretty big and pretty strong, but probably a third to half were not part of that normal group. So thanks for
Easily.
coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge thank you. All around, man. Super exciting. But yeah, what's next? What's left? What else are we playing? This
So
is
so we always
Ryan's
end with what else are we playing?
Ryan's not here. Poor Ryan.
Ryan's not
I'll
here.
I'll speak for him. I got him. I got him.
Uh, Heroescape, right? It's
Yeah.
Heroescape. He's playing
Don't
Heroescape.
steal my thunder. All right.
Hey, listen, I have to say something during this segment because I haven't played anything.
You've been playing plumbers and
Yeah.
carpenters.
Playing home repair. Okay.
Yeah,
Go paint some more.
yeah.
Um,
I've been
what
playing
what have you been playing,
which
Ken?
letter is this?
Which letter is this? Oh,
R.
with Johnny.
R is for robot or rabbit. E e e e e. T is for tiger. R. K is for
Fun
kite,
game.
and then he does this weird thing with his hands that I couldn't figure out what it was, but that was because of Miss Rachel. For all those that are parents know what I'm talking about. It's like kite and it flies away, and he's like, "Yee!" I'm like, "That's why I don't know why that's a K." Had to text my wife about that one. That's my life. That's what I've been playing. So someone else can go.
Life. Well done.
Yeah.
So I've been tinkering with the new Star Trek Into the Unknown game, making sure I can figure out how that works and really dive into a lot of the nuance of that game. There's a lot there. It is definitely not you're gonna pick up the rule book and 20 minutes later know how to play it. You're gonna have to play a few games and really kind of get into the meat of what it is. And there's a lot there with the officers and their abilities. So, I'm really looking forward to getting our hands on the core set
The
for
book.
that game.
The
Yeah, and
book.
and the
I just want
campaign
the
book.
book.
I want the campaign book. I really want to see how a lot of these, and there's a lot of questions I have, especially after talking to both Max and Michael, where I talk to him. It's like, okay, cool. I'm good. I'm happy. And I've got a list of about 40 more questions I want to ask him, which probably would be answered as soon as I get the books in my hand. But I've been having some fun with that actually.
Yeah, I'm really excited for that. Can't come soon enough. It's taking a
Uh,
long time though. Forever. No, it should be out in the next
soon.
at least 2 months, probably.
Well,
Um,
I was told Q4
yeah.
is was where we're at, and we're in Q4. But
Mhm.
if I'm
So
going to guess,
Garrett is right. That is the next 2 months.
Yeah.
yeah, so
Nail it,
you're
Ken.
right. I'm
Before Christmas.
guessing.
Okay.
I'm guessing before Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to guess mid late November.
Will it be something to be thankful for?
Oh, that could be fun.
Sounds like a section that I don't know about. What are we doing?
Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
I mean, I know about Thanksgiving.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, you mean
So
like on
it'll
Thanksgiving?
be something to be thankful for.
Well,
It'd be a rough time for it to come out.
there
Everyone's
is a
gone.
Star Trek episode that revolves around Thanksgiving.
Isn't there multiple?
Yeah, but there's only one that's coming to mind.
Oh,
That's I think it's
Thanks.
Balance of Terror from the original series where Kirk was talking about needing turkeys or something, and then they had the wedding, and then they fought the Romulans.
geez, what a nerd.
If I'm wrong,
Was that
someone
was
will
that
will
about
correct.
Thanksgiving?
I could have swore there was a
I don't
Thanksgiving thing
remember
there. Maybe it wasn't Balance of Terror. Hang on. There was
because it was the
definitely an original
wedding.
series that dealt with Thanksgiving. I thought it was that one.
Don't worry. Somebody will correct us in the comments. Like when I said Romulan Warbird or something on accident
Well,
wrong.
now you got me questioning it. I think you're right. I don't think that is the Thanksgiving one. There is a Thanksgiving one though.
It is observer effect. It's mentioned in Enterprise.
And what about the original series?
I'm looking. Charlie X, it was
Oh,
mentioned.
Charlie X. Maybe that's the one. It was one of the first season ones, one of the early episodes.
Man, well, everybody, you're welcome for this deep cut, the original series lore moment for Thanksgiving. Moral of the story is big Star Trek game coming. Same people who made Armada making Star Trek.
Yeah.
Buy your core sets. I'm gonna go now. I've been playing some HeroScape with Ryan, our other host, and we haven't been playing a whole lot because we've been absolutely swamped with life and Armada. So, anyways, ton of fun. It's a skirmish game, and it's this cool 3D map that you build, and the rules are really simple.
Mhm.
And let me tell you, you can play a lot in a very short amount of time, and there's not a whole lot of wishy-washy gotcha measurements, all this crap. It's man, it's smooth. And you can buy it painted or unpainted. And that is awesome.
I,
And
I used to be I'm gonna buy it and paint it, and now that I'm older and have zero time, bring on the painted figures.
bro, and like I guess this is unpopular, but people have complained about the price. Listen, it's like $20 more to get it painted.
Sold.
And yeah, it's like not show worthy painting, but it's good enough for me painted. I can just open a box and I'm done. And that's fantastic. Because it takes like, even to do a substandard job, it takes me an hour per figure uh, to do about the same as what it comes out as factory. So I don't know. So, anyways, Seerscape, very fun, much fun. Frostclaw Paladins, people who know. Amazing guys, man. I'm excited. As soon as this update drops, we'll get online, and no matter where we're at, we'll tune in here. I guarantee
Talk
it.
about it. We will tear it apart and we will bring you every little feature to it. And it'll be fun. I might even be involved in that because I'm not planning on taking a flight anytime soon.
Yeah. No, what if it comes out while I'm driving to Ozark? That will suck. I'll have to tune in over
Do you not have a
5G.
We'll
Bluetooth?
I mean, I
pull
do. I'm just
over
saying, it'll
and
be pull over. Listen, it's like an 11-hour drive, Ken. There's no time to pull over.
no,
Okay.
you got to gas up eventually, Garrett.
So I'll just talk and drive. It's not illegal. Okay.
You'll be like, "Can you read that card to me too, please?"
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it'll
Amazing.
be a long episode. So
Hopefully, I hope it's like 3 hours long. Just, mm, just thick, just thick book of changes. Uh, Fantastic. Anything else you guys want to talk about
I
besides
think
Miss Rachel and the original series?
well, we can go into Bluey,
I,
but
No, Bluey's
Bluey
old
is
news. It's out.
Bluey is one of my favorite shows.
It's a
yeah,
good
What are
we're
you
show.
talking
talking
about?
Bluey.
It's
Bluey's
out.
awesome.
It's
So,
replaced.
yeah. Bluey's like one of the only things I've watched consistently. Yeah. And the Great British Bake Show. I don't know if you guys watch that, but big fan. That's just started back up, so
Yeah, my
highly
wife watches that.
recommend.
I like that and MasterChef.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Although we're getting highly off Marmota topic here. Uh, let's shut this show down.
So
Well,
this is going to be the next time you see me, maybe this year, maybe next year, who knows, at the pace that I've been coming on going. But we should actually have the studio set up behind me because Ken and I are planning on doing that tomorrow. So we're excited for that.
it'll be cool. Not only do I get to get a car back in my garage, because I've got everything in the garage after Uprising, so I probably should get that out of there. But yeah, it'll be good to actually get the studio put back together again and start planning out what we want to do. I know we've talked about, we were waiting for this update to happen because I don't want to sit there and put out like an ISD2, do a, something with Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then find out that everything, the prices have changed drastically. Well, the fleet's been invalidated, and there's a better way to build it. But we'll find out, soon enough. I'm sure John, you and I'll film something anyways, even regardless of the point changes. But because we're getting close, about a month away from having been on the air now for almost 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, crazy.
Our
Too
five
long.
year mission is almost done, John. That's weird.
That is absolutely nuts. So, okay, let's wrap this up. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Ken.
And I'm still Garrett. Uprising
And
champion. Get wrecked, Chicago.
congratulations again.
No, I'm
And
kidding.
we are the command staff, and you've been listening and watching Command Stack.